Hello everyone, welcome to 3ddesignacademy.com. In this lesson, I will be continuing on with part 3 of the Porsche 911 project review. In the previous lesson, I spent some time working on this one. I think the highlight looks a lot better. The continue could use a little bit improvement, but overall it's not too bad. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to this area. If you look at the highlights over here, it looks like there is a little bulge and a little bit of negative over here, so I'm going to try and fix that. Now, when you're doing a surfacing work like this, what you have to do is you always have to, always have to look at the theoreticals. So let's just go ahead and untrim it and see what's going on. Now, actually, before that, if you look at the CV structure, I can tell you exactly what's wrong. You'll see that the CV is going in like this and out, and that is going to create a little bit of surface problem. So let's take a look at this primary surface and see what's going on. Now, technically, I think this is supposed to be a fillet between this one and this one, but let's just look at the underlying surface and see what I can do in order to improve it. So I'm just going to untrim all of these surfaces like this, and let's take a look. All right, so I'm just going to isolate these two over here, and you'll see that first of all, the theoreticals don't really match up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to extend this one, and let's take a look. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to project this from Y, and you'll see that there's a little bit of gap. And if you look at the fillet over here, if the theoretical, let's say the theoretical is structured like this, the surface, underlying surface should actually, or the tangent line is supposed to follow this one. Basically, it should follow the theoretical like this. But as you can see, the theoretical is somewhat over here, and even that, it's not really matching. And as a result, it's creating a little bit of a surface problem. Now, there are a couple of things you can do. In order to keep the tangent line here, what you can do is you can just chop this off and basically align this surface to that. Or if you want to keep this theoretical as is, what you can do is you can keep make the tangent line go over here. Now, that said, however, I think it might be easier to do this one so that I don't have to create surface that continues up this way. So let's go ahead and do that, because if let's say I keep the theoretical like this over here, what I have to do is I will have to create a surface over here, basically a fillet over here that goes this way, and because it actually goes into this space over here, I'll have to probably patch it in more. And because, well, actually there's a little bit of, I think that might be okay, but I think I'm just going to try to keep it a little bit simple. All right, so let's do this. So I'm just going to pick these surfaces over here, and I'm going to try to find out the theoretical over here. So let me just untrim this one like this, and I'm going to isolate these over here like that. And I'm just going to untrim this one. Okay, so even here looks like it's a floating, which isn't really great. So technically, because this is a fillet, there should actually be another patch that basically merges into that. So let me see what happens if I just extend it like that. Okay, so it looks like this is actually going this way. So if that's the case, I would actually prefer something like that. So let me see if that's going to work. Yeah, I think that wouldn't be too bad. So it looks like it's going over here a little bit, and once I patch this in, I think that should be okay. So let's go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this one also, just to keep everything somewhat consistent. And now the reason why this happens is because basically this is a fillet, so that's why. But let me just do a little bit of cleanup. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to intersect this one over here. Now the theoretical over here is going to be a little bit crooked, but that's okay. So I'm just going to connect the dots from here to here like this, and I'm going to snap it over here, and I'm going to snap this side over here. And I'm just going to do a center pivot over here, and let's just connect this one also. Now it's probably preferable that this just extends it like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this edge over here, and let's just extend it let's see, with merge on, like that. Let me just delete that COS over there, and I'm just going to project it like that. I'm going to project this one over here. I'm going to trim this one, and I'm going to project over here, and I'm just going to trim this one also. Oh, looks like I'm missing a COS, so let's go ahead and reproject this one like that, and I'm going to trim, and that should be good. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a blend curve between the two just to create the fourth edge. Now, this is a little bit imbalanced because if you look at the distance between this one and this one, of course, this one is a little bit larger. Part of the reason is because I'm trying to match this one over here. Now, if you didn't have to, it would, of course, be a little bit better if I balanced it by pushing this one over here and pushing this edge over here. But let's just go ahead and play with what I have. Okay, so let me just make sure that it's actually aligned. It does look like it's a little bit off. I'm not sure. Well, let's give it a try. However, I don't like how this is going like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to align this one over here just to make sure that it's actually G2. Because sometimes blend curve can be a little bit finicky. And it looks like it is. So I think that actually improved the shape also. So I think I'm good there. All right. So now I'm going to just use a square to patch this in. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like that. And of course, 1 and 3 should be curvature. And it looks like it's degree 6. I prefer to stay with degree 5 as much as possible. But it looks like it's failing over there. But that's okay. I think with this one, I should be able to align it. So I'm just going to say G2, align, position influence set to max. Oh, let's see what's going on. Just going to grab the surface continue tool over here like this. Oh, it's 1.0. It's probably due to the flatness of the surface, although I'm seeing compound curvature, so I don't know why it's like that. But, well, let's see. Looks like it really doesn't affect it. So I'm just going to delete the construction history and see if I can make this curvature. All right. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think that was just alias curvature calculation error. All right. So that's good. And now I have to patch this in over here. So this one, I'm going to make some, because I have a little bit of surface over here, I'm going to do a little bit of modification. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, let's just delete the construction history on all of these. I'm going to untrim this one. And I'm going to go ahead and, well, let's see, the theoretical's there. So let me just indicate it with a curve like that. And I'll just strike it like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to repatch this so that the theoretical is going to go over here. So actually, you know what? Because it's like this, let me angle it a little bit. So I'm just going to angle it like this, and I'm going to basically take this one. And basically, this is going to be the new theoretical that I'm going to make. So what I can do is, first of all, let me just extend this surface over here. And I'm just going to project it. And I'm going to grab this fillet, this one over here. And I'm going to project that also like that. All right. And I'm going to go ahead. And of course, I do need to delete the COS. I'm just going to extend it a little bit. And I'm going to just do a trim convert over here like this. So basically, I get a new patch. Now, this one I don't need anymore. So I'm just going to hide it just in case I need it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this one and this one. Actually, it might be going in a little bit too much. Oh, actually, you know what? That might be a little bit too much. So I might have to make some adjustments. Yeah, that might be a little bit too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make the fillet a little bit bigger. I think it's going to end up just having to intrude into this piece. Okay. So if that's okay, so let me just delete this one and this one, and let's just take a look. Okay, so I think I would say probably the limit is here. So yeah, unfortunately. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to have to do the trim convert again. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the stretch tool, and let's just make it somewhere like this, and I'll have to patch this like this. I think it should work out. So I'm just going to project here, and I'm going to project onto this surface also, so that I do have a COS. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim convert this again like this. I don't think I need this anymore. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to align this one over here. So let's just go ahead and use the project option, and I'm going to project it from Y. So basically this surface over here is aligned up to this surface over here. Now, I think it is going in. However, I do probably need to check the width. Maybe that's going in a little bit too much, because this surface does have to be proud of this one, and I think it's actually going quite a bit negative. Okay, so if that's the case, you know what? I'm going to change the angle once more. So let me just undo this one. Actually, if that's the case, I'm going to just delete both, and I'm going to bring this back out over here. And let's just change the angle a little bit more, and I'll probably set it. Yeah, I think that's good. All right, so I would say that's probably the limit. All right, so I'm just going to set it over there. And let's see. Okay, so because of history, I think I still have a COS there. So let's just go ahead and trim convert, and I'm going to hide this one. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make sure it's, oh, actually this one is going to position, it's going to be edge, and I'm going to grab this trim converted surface edge, and I'm going to project it over here. Looks like there's two COSs, so I probably need to delete one, and that's good. All right, so that way this surface is still proud, and I still have room to do a fillet. All right, so I'm just going to, that's it. However, I think this should follow, so I'm just going to do a, I think it's starting to become a little bit close, so maybe I'll just leave it like that, because this surface still needs to be proud of this one. So let me just extend that a little bit. Yeah, I think actually that's pretty consistent, so I would say that's a pass. All right, so now let's just go ahead and put a fillet between the two. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because the theoretical is over here, I think I'm just going to custom make the surface over here, or the tangent line. So I'm just going to project this one over here, and I'm going to project it over here like that. And let's just go ahead and trim this one, and this one, and this one. All right, so here is a tricky part, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to align these ones using a freeform blend like this, and I'm just going to do connect ends just to keep the CV structure somewhat clean. I'm just going to do curvature, because that's a given. And let's just check the highlight. Okay, so that's a little bit better than before. It doesn't have, it has less of the bulge that I saw before. So I think that's good. Now, one of the problem is, I think the continue might, oh, let's do this. You know what? I'm going to undo that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because right now, if you look at this, I think the well, let's do it this way. You see this, that's a positive, that's a negative over here. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say it's a negative, but it kind of looks like a negative. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the edges the same, but I'm going to keep try to modify the internal volume. So I think I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. It is not going to be curvature, but I'm just going to leave it like this. That way, basically this curvature over here, or the volume, sort of carries it through here. Now, that's not, however, 3 does need to be curvature, so I'm going to keep it that way. The underlying surface, I'm going to get rid of. And let's take a look. So the highlight should be a little bit better. So let's just go ahead and project this again. And let's just go ahead and trim and freeform blend over here. This one, and this one. Like that. Now, there's still a little bit of wave. I think that's inevitable just because I don't have a lot of real estate over here. But I think it's looking a little bit better than before. So let's just go ahead and finish this up. So first of all, I'm just going to delete the construction history, of course, at this one. I'm going to untrim and retrim. This one I can get rid of. Let's see, what is this one? Oh, that's just an extension, so that can be gone. So I think that's looking a little bit better than before. Of course, these all of these surfaces do need to be redone. Let's see. That said, however, what is going on? So I'm just going to get rid of all of these. This one looks like it's supposed to be a fillet over here. Yes, I think so. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim this one. I'm going to trim that one. Like that. There's still a piece over here. And I'm just going to say visible. And let's just go ahead and intersect all of these. So I'm just going to extend the fillet over here. Let's just delete the construction history over here. And let's just go ahead and untrim it. Looks like it does need a little bit of extension. There we go. And I'm just going to untrim and retrim. Extend. Trim there. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Oops. Extend that one. Now I do think that there's there's only one COS, which is good. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna project over here. Like that. And let's just go in and intersect all of this. Okay, so I'm just going to grab this one, intersect here, intersect over here as well. Grab this one, intersect like that. I'm going to trim here. Here. This one looks like it needs an extension on the COS. There we go. This one, and this one, and that's much better. So I think it's a little bit cleaner than before. There's still a little bit of wiggle. Ideally, what would probably be better is either I make the fillet a lot bigger because there's still a little bit of wave, or actually have this as a primary surface that extends a little bit over here instead of having to transition into here. So what I would do is I would make the surface a lot bigger so that it's just one theoretical, so that I don't need to create this fillet over here. I think that would be a little bit better. But overall, it's a slight, it's a little bit of an improvement from before, so I think that's pretty good. All right, so I think that's pretty much covers it. So yeah, I think I'll end it here. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this session. I think hopefully it shows you guys how to improve a model depending on the situation. So hopefully it helps. All right. So that is it for review of Porsche 911. Thank you guys for watching and see you next time. Want to learn more? Then become a member at 3ddesignacademy.com, where you will find hundreds of video tutorials ranging from basics, including car creations, intermediate level tutorials such as this wheel, all the way to Class A modeling of the interior car exterior. Interested? Visit 3ddesignacademy.com.